Yeah, so let's get into some of the biggest stories in Formula One right now. So far, after the Miami Grand Prix, a lot has happened. From the FIA changing the rules for 2027, for Oscar to also be in the news such that he might be linked to a move to Red Bull, and Max also going to McLaren. Let's just break it down. So first of all, Lewis is putting pressure on Ferrari behind the scenes, such that he said that he needs to study. Ferrari needs to study how the other teams, McLaren, Mercedes, and what do you call it, the Red Bulls, have been able to improve, bring upgrades, better upgrades to develop the car. Because so far it's like they are still where they are, even though they were the ones who brought the most upgrades at Miami. And also speaking of Ferrari, Charles, Lewis' teammate, is also not happy. He's saying that the team should start putting measures in place to investigate why their race pace has been diminishing, because we realize that once they start the race, they are very quick off the line. They can get, I'm very sure that even if they start 10th, they can get into a position like 3rd, 2nd, but in the course of the race, their pace just vanishes, and all of a sudden all the cars keep on overtaking them during the race. So he's saying that they should put steps in place, investigate why the race pace suddenly disappears during races. The thing is, every team and the philosophy they take into the season. So some teams are such that they plan to be faster in the corners. Some are faster to be in the street, on the streets. But Ferrari are a team that are such that their philosophy is we are quick on the streets, getting into the corners. That's why they also went for Lewis, because Lewis is somebody who is very fast in the corners. But so far the setup has not worked for them, and that's what's causing the concern. Now heading into Canada. Now what happens is that before they go for the race, they go to the factory and go and use the simulator. Now for those who don't know what the simulator is, like the games that we play, you see that we can set up a race and then go around and see how it feels like. So they have this ultra modern simulators that replicate how the car is supposed to feel on track, where even when you sit, it's not like the normal game you sit, that one the car moves with you on track. They look at how the elevation is, so it's very realistic. So they can create the upgrades, make it into a digital form and use it before they get to the race so that they prepare. And so far Lewis has said that reports that are coming out saying that Lewis has failed and will not be entering the simulator because he feels that the simulator is giving them a fake perception about what is happening on the grounds. Maybe the
virtual reality is nowhere near the reality itself.
Yeah. So it's like the upgrades on the simulator are giving them much hope than what's happening on the ground. So he has said that until they are able to come up with better solutions, he's not going to enter into the simulator, which is very concerning, because
but if you're a team and you have both drivers complaining, then there's really
there's a problem.
Something.
But the thing is, that's one thing about Ferrari I don't like. They have the drivers, competent drivers, not like any other drivers. You have somebody like Lewis, who is a 7-time world champion, one of the greatest of all time, who is breaking almost every record almost every time. You have Charles, who is a very good driver, good stats, and when they say something, it's like they are not listening to them. It's like whatever we have decided is what we are going to do. That's what is bringing the problems. And also jumping into it, meanwhile over at Red Bull, Max says that their Miami upgrades definitely improved the car. What happened was that during the testing before the season began, Ferrari brought a different setup where their wing doesn't tow the normal line, where it just turns once for the air to take the car. What happens is that it rotates 180 degrees, which was something that nobody was expecting from any team. And they came out to explain that, you see, on a normal track, once you are following another car, the car in front is taking all the pressure from the air. It's punching a hole into the air. So if you are behind, you can go faster. There's less resistance. Now what happens with the wing that Ferrari brought is that once it turns 180, it will divert the air in such a way that it will hit the car behind and then slow you down. So people were narrating it as the atomic bomb of Formula One, because once it opens, it can be said that it can take you off track. So other teams also started looking at them and then Red Bull.
On the Mario Kart.
Red Bull also copied the philosophy, even though they were saying that they had it in the pipeline before Ferrari and all that. We all know that the PR work they will do it.
It might be true, though.
It might be true, but this is Formula One, and they brought it to Miami, and it worked perfectly for them. They changed a lot of things. It wasn't similar, but it had the same concept, and they were able to do better than Ferrari. And it was something that was shocking. But even though he has had problems with the regulations this season, he's saying that the Miami upgrades were good, and he's expecting more for Canada in the next 2 weeks, so that they'll be even better. Now, even though people are also complaining, one person that is defending the new era and the new regulations is Toto Wolff, the Mercedes team principal. He still claims that despite Antonelli winning the season openers and then the team having a good start, people criticizing the cars and then the new regulations is just something that is part of Formula One. Once you start winning, people don't want you to win, so they want the regulations to change. It's something that happens.